It's me trying to be healthy, you guys. Water with lipstick stains all over it. Hey everybody, and welcome back to my channel. Today is Tuesday, so we know what the deal is. Today is to buy or not to buy Tuesdays. So if you guys are not familiar with my channel, basically what I do is I put out a video every Tuesday letting you guys know the latest makeup releases and makeup launches and whether I choose to buy or not to buy. So as always, I will include pictures of the new released items, dates, details, and retail prices. You can find all of that information as well as links to the products and what I have on my face in the bottom bar below, so make sure to go check that out. I'll also have my playlist so you guys can see all of the past to buys or not to buys, just in case you had missed one, so I got you, girl. No worries. As always, the makeup community was on and poppin' this last week. So let's go ahead and get started. So today's to buy or not to buy is actually going to be a eyeshadow palette edition because all 4 items that I have on today's list are all eyeshadow palettes. If you guys have been watching for a while, you guys know that I'm super picky, and that's an understatement, on eyeshadow palettes. I've taken a good 2-year, just about 2-year hiatus on eyeshadow palettes that I've bought. I've bought single shadows from Makeup Geek, but that's about it, and usually those were replenishing my kit, so I'm not a big fan of eyeshadow palettes. But anyway, what I found this past week on Trendmoods, which is usually where I get about 95% of what I choose to put in my to buys or not to buys, and I will have the link to her IG page down below as well. There was a lot of eyeshadow palettes up for grabs this past week, you guys, so I decided to do eyeshadow palettes. First palette of the video is from Viseart. So if you guys are unfamiliar with this brand, it is a very like makeup artist friendly brand. They're pro palettes. They're all pro palettes. They don't do a lot of like social media stuff, or they don't send a lot of palettes to influencers and stuff like that. They are very much a pro makeup brand. So they are coming out with their biggest Viseart eyeshadow palette, the Grande Pro Palette. I love the name. Volume 1. So clearly there's more coming out. It includes 30 eyeshadows, 6 shades that everyone loves, plus 24 matte shades, and there is a mirror. It's not like the full, you know how you open the palette and the full upper portion of that fold out is a mirror. It does have a smaller size mirror, but I'm not like docking points for mirror sizes. Retail price is $175. The pro price is $140, and they're limiting 2 per customer. Now if you do have a pro card with Viseart, I'm assuming that's where that $140 would play in for you guys. If you're just a regular consumer, it's $175. They are available pre-order as of yesterday, October 9th. Exclusively on Muse Beauty Pro and at the makeup show, which is in November in LA, the 4th and 5th, and they have limited quantities only, so they only have 3,000 in the US. It's limited edition. These are some pretty gorgeous colors, you guys. They have cool tones, warm tones, and then a couple of crazy colors, plus a black. And I can always trust that Viseart will have the blackest black because they've been in the game for a while. I have a love-hate relationship with Viseart palettes. I love their palettes. I hate their prices. They're super expensive. Now I know if you're a pro artist, you're getting paid hundreds and hundreds of dollars per client or per appointment. So it is a really good investment, especially because those eyeshadows are super pigmented. They're super creamy. They have probably the least amount of kickback and fallout that I've ever seen in eyeshadow palettes, and I've played with them, but I've never actually owned one. I would really, as a consumer and as someone who just loves makeup, I would have to pass up on this one. It is just way too expensive for me to try. It does have probably every color that I would probably want in eyeshadow palette, you know, docking off 1 or 2, but I would probably use a good 70-80% of the palette. So the usage is great. I just don't think that I would buy a pro palette at $175. I don't have a pro card for Viseart. I wish I did, but even then, I mean, it's only a $35 difference, which is still huge. It's still a huge amount, but $35 still puts me over $120. So yeah, it's just a big stretch for me. I would have to go ahead and say no to this one. But you guys let me know in the bottom bar below, do you guys have any Viseart stuff? Is it worth it? Or are you just gonna pass this up due to price? Let me know in the bottom section below. So next item on the list is gonna be the Natasha Denona Holidays 2017 palette. She's got 2 of them coming out. One is Joya and one is Aries. They're limited edition at $48 each. They have 5 shades in each palette, and she's also launching 4 crystal chroma crystal top coats at $28 each, which I've looked on the Natasha Denona Instagram page, and basically what that is, it's like to me it kind of reminds me of what Dose of Colors, their duo eyeshadows were. So they had the cream based and then the glitter pigment on one side and then on the other of the actual package itself. So they're little pots of pigment, and it looks like loose glitter pigment, and those can be applied basically anywhere around the face. So those will be retailing for $28 each. They launched today at noon on Sephora's website and at Beautylicious website. They're gorgeous, gorgeous colors. I mean, you can always expect that from Natasha Denona. They're absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous colors. And you know, at $50 each, I know it's like $10 per shadow, which is kind of extreme, but they're not as big as a purchase as one of her full palettes, and they still come included with some really gorgeous colors that you could really, really pair well together. In my opinion, I would probably get Joya just because I'm a bigger fan of those warmer tones, and I feel like you could pull off a little smoky eye with it. So I'm actually leaning towards a yes for this one. I've played around with some of her shadows in the past, and I love the formula. The formula is absolutely amazing. So I think I'm gonna go with a yes on this one. $50 isn't a huge stretch compared to the $140 that we had with Viseart, or the $175 that we had with Viseart. So I feel like it's definitely something that's doable. But you guys let me know in the bottom section below. Do you have any of our bigger palettes? How do you guys like them? Is it worth it? Let me know. Okay, next item on the list is going to be the Rainbow palette from Violet Voss. There are 10 shimmery shades with colorful packaging, retailing at $30. The palette is super pigmented, and it will be available also today on the website, and Trendmood also has a discount code. Use Trendmood to get 10% off. I'm not affiliated with Violet Voss at all, nor am I affiliated with Trendmood, so I'm just passing on a discount code for you guys if you guys want to use it. Looking at the palette itself, we have a pink, a copper, a gold, like a sea foamy color, and that's exactly what it's called, a light blue, royal blue, 2 kinds of purples, a white and a black. They look super pigmented, to be completely honest. The swatches look really, really good. I'm going to have to pass up on this one though, simply because I am not a fan of all shimmer shades. In my opinion, it's just not a palette that I would gravitate towards. I love my matte colors. I'm a matte girl, to be completely honest. I do not gravitate towards using shimmer colors all over my eye. To me, I feel like shimmer colors age me, specifically me in my opinion, so it's just not something that I would actually pull towards. They're really, really, really pretty colors. I think $30 is really, really affordable, just not for a palette that I would reach for very often. I didn't necessarily do any kind of double take. I kind of just looked it over and was like, looks pretty good, but just not something that I would actually purchase. You guys let me know in the bottom section below, are you in love with these shimmer colors, or are you going to pass up on them? Let me know. So next item on the list is the Morphe 3502 palette. I know you guys have probably seen this already all over YouTube and Snapchat and Instagram, just because they kind of went out already for the influencers of Morphe. It is going to be available October 12th, so in 2 days. And Trendmood also has a code with them that I will link in the bottom bar below. It doesn't tell me how much it'll be. I'm assuming that it's probably going to be around the $28, $30, $35 range. That Morphe's pretty well known for having their palettes anyways. They're really, really, really pretty colors. I actually haven't really worked with a lot of Morphe palettes. I've worked with one, to be completely honest. I've worked with their 350 palette. I was working with another makeup artist on a video shoot who happened to have it, and we really liked one of the colors out of there. And to be completely honest, I had to really work to get that color to stay. There was a ton of fallout and I was not impressed with it at all. And I hate to say that because Morphe is a really well-known brand. I may need to play with another palette. I've also played with their Jaclyn Hill palette and I wasn't impressed with it at all. I actually found that it lacked a lot. I felt like their transition colors dragged a lot. Like I said, it got really muddy. So unfortunately, I'm not a big fan of Morphe palettes. I've had their blush palette and I think it's really awesome. I have it in my kit, but for some reason their eyeshadows, man, I don't know if it was maybe the temperature that we were in, they just weren't working really well for me. So I'm actually going to take another look at the Morphe palettes and kind of just play with one again and see if it works better for me. But to be completely honest, you guys, it's just, it wasn't my favorite palette at all. So it's gonna be a no for me. I'm also a little concerned. They have a bit of an issue with questionable ingredients in their palettes, and when it comes to putting stuff on our face, we should always be super careful with what products we do that with. So it's gonna have to be a definite no for me, you guys. You guys let me know in the bottom bar below. Have you guys had really good experience with the Morphe palettes, or are they just not your thing? Let me know in the bottom section below because I'd love to know. So that is basically it, you guys, for today's video. It was a shorty and a goodie. If you guys have any suggestions on what you want to be in next week's to buy or not to buy, please leave them in the bottom section below or tag me on Instagram or on Twitter. If you guys are interested in seeing any of the past to buy or not to buy videos, please look for the playlist in the bottom section below as well. You will also find details, prices, and links to all the products that we listed today, as well as what I have on my face currently. And if you guys are not already subscribed to that channel, I've provided a lovely button right up there for you, so please go ahead and click her because she is waiting to be clicked. I promise. Make sure to like and share this video as well. Your girl will really appreciate it, and I will see you guys on the next one. Besos. Bye.